Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another The Era with Brian Gregory, instant reaction post game. The Eagles beat the Chiefs by a score of 20-17 today. This is the Eagles' third straight win against the Chiefs. Now, I had to go back in my memory for a second. The Eagles haven't beaten them since the second to last Super Bowl they played against each other. And so the Eagles are slowly forming a string of dominance against the Chiefs. Some may dare to say that the Eagles own the Chiefs as of right now. And I think that there's some credibility and some validity to that statement. Some very weird things about the Chiefs right now. Like, there's some crazy statistics that I heard today. Patrick Mahomes is now 0-2 for the first time since high school. That's unreal. I mean, that's a testament to Patrick Mahomes and how dominant he's been these past several years. But it's still a strange trajectory that the Chiefs have. The Chiefs have not been 0-2 since 2014. So it's been over 10 years since they've reached this point. It's absolutely unreal. The Eagles, it wasn't an aesthetically pleasing win. Like, there wasn't a ton of consistency on offense. I mean, Jalen Hurts only had 101 passing yards, but it was real physical, real ground and pounds. And the Eagles, like all great teams do, they just found a way to thug it out. I feel like they're a team that's going to be able to beat you in a variety of ways this year. Was I feeling a bit of Super Bowl hangover with them at times watching this game and against the Cowboys? Yeah. Like, they seem a little sluggish. They don't seem to have the same intensity that they had late in the season last year. But they still find a way to win these games. And I think that focus is something that's going to come as this season goes on, as they start to gain confidence. I mean, they're now 2-0. They're doing something right here. Devontae Smith had a really good day today. I mean, he had 53 yards. He was the Eagles' leading receiver. So that kind of builds into what I'm saying, where it wasn't exactly fireworks for the Eagles today, but it was just enough. Defensively, though, great. Got a lot of huge stops against the Chiefs today. The Chiefs, when I look at them, it's going to be interesting because that offense, like I said, post-Chargers game, that offense, it just doesn't have the same explosive factor it's had in the past, and it doesn't have that knockout punch. I don't feel threatened when I watch the Chiefs offense right now like I have in past years. So you used to watch the Chiefs offense, and it was scary shit, man. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce had that knockout punch, and when they're ready to drop the hammer, they're ready to drop the hammer, and they could do it at will. I mean, it was like watching the Golden State Warriors from 2015 to 2019. Like, they just had that it factor. I'm not feeling that it factor right now. I mean, Travis Kelce and Mahomes, while they have a lot of chemistry, there's been some weird miscommunications with those two, like in that interception that Travis Kelce had today. It's just weird. Something's not on. And now a lot of it has to do with the fact that Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy are out right now. So we have to take that into account. The Chiefs, kind of like Notre Dame, I'm going to compare them to Notre Dame here because both of them are 0-2. And so it's easy to look at that and say, oh, man, these guys are shit. Like, these guys are not the same as they always are. Like, something's slipping. And yes, something feels weird about the Chiefs right now, but they play the Chargers, who I think that we need to really start to pay attention to. And they've only played one game. We're going to see them play the Raiders tomorrow night. I think that the Chargers are scary. And they play the Eagles, who are defending Super Bowl champions. I think can very well go back to the promised land this year. And so they lost to two teams that I firmly believe will be in the playoffs. The Chiefs, down the line, get some teams that they can really beat up on, playing against some teams that they can really run it up against. I think that that'll really benefit them. I'm pulling up the Chiefs' upcoming schedule right now. Next Sunday, they're on Sunday night against the Giants. They're in New York. That's a very winnable game. Then they have Lamar and the Ravens. Now, that's tough. I think the Ravens are, right now, probably the second best team in the NFL. They look scary. Then they go to the Jaguars, host the Lions. So there's chances for the Chiefs to rebound here. There's chances for them to get back into rhythm this year. And getting Xavier Worthy back, which I saw a report today, it's looking like he may be able to come back for the Giants game next week. That would be massive. You get Rashee Rice back after his 6-week suspension. And then I feel like the Chiefs are a player away on offense. I feel like they're going to have to make a push. If they want to go toe-to-toe with Buffalo and go toe-to-toe with Baltimore, I feel like they need a little more oomph. I feel like they need a little more substance on that offensive side of the ball. I think they go out and get somebody at the deadline. I know Tyreek Hill has been a topic of conversation. I think that's realistic. I think that makes sense for both the Chiefs and the Dolphins. I know the Dolphins are saying that they're open to trade talks right now, but I will say the Dolphins are now 0-2. They continue to stack losses. They're going to be liquidating everything. That's just how it works. And so maybe the Chiefs make a push for him. But it's weird. The Chiefs don't look as imposing as they usually do. And it's nothing to panic about right now. I mean, I think they can very well get in line. What's up, Jared? I just saw Jared Salucci comments in the comment section here. He said, "Just found your channel. Appreciate you, boss. Subscribe. I'd really appreciate it." So we're going in depth with analysis here. Chiefs, Eagles. The Chiefs are a well-coached team. They've got a great culture. And so when you have those things, it's kind of like I said in my Georgia reaction video to them being Tennessee. You can make adjustments and you can figure things out. So I'm not panicked just yet. Appreciate you for subscribing, Jared. I really do. But in due time, they're going to have to figure this thing out. Now let's compare them in the context to the AFC West. This conference is more competitive than I've seen it in the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes era for the Chiefs. You've got Pete Carroll. You've got Jim Harbaugh. You've got Sean Payton coaching this division now. It's scary shit. I mean, this is the most well-coached division in all of the NFL. Competition is ramping up. The Chargers keep enhancing their roster. They had a great draft. I think the Raiders are being really undervalued right now. And the Broncos have a scary defense. And I know they lost to the Colts. I'm going to talk about that for a few minutes in this. But it's going to be a much tougher road for the Chiefs. And I picked the Chiefs to win the AFC West going into the season because they're one of those teams. There's very few of them out there, but I blindly trust them. And I still haven't lost trust. It's a weird bump in the road. The Chiefs have had slow starts in the past. Not this slow. They've had slow starts in the past. But the road is now tougher than usual. You've got the Chargers, you've got the Ravens, you've got the Broncos. I think the Bills and the Ravens are both better versions of themselves than the Chiefs have seen in the past. And so it's going to be a very, very tough road for the Chiefs. But nonetheless, I don't withdraw my hope for them. I think that their defensive line is incredible. I love George Karlaftis. You know, I know he's a linebacker. I love George Karlaftis. That their defense is stout. Nick Bolton, Trent McDuffie in the secondary, love them. Offensive line is, and I know that Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys that everybody is looking to absolutely dunk on. Everybody's looking to absolutely shit on Patrick Mahomes because he's been dominant for so long. Everybody wants to see him fall. That's just the reality of it. It's like Alabama. It's like the Patriots. Everybody wants to see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs fall. And so they look for every way to put this on him. He still had almost 200 passing yards today. I would say that he outperforms Jalen Hurts. I mean, he had, I'm looking right here. They had close to the same QBR. They were pretty much neck and neck, but I think that Patrick Mahomes had a slight edge today. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to put the Chiefs on his back this year to win this thing, to win games. It's a situation I really haven't seen him in before. The Chiefs, I can kind of feel that they've been over-reliant on him increasingly. They had him surrounded with Tyreek Hill. They have him surrounded with Travis Kelce, that receiving core for years. And then it's just gotten picked apart. Like Tyreek went to Miami and whatnot, and it's just gotten weaker and weaker and weaker. And now with both Worthy and Rice being out, that receiving core is a shell of itself. And so Patrick Mahomes, and he's not getting much support from his offensive line. He's under duress a lot more than he usually is. So that's slowing the run game down as well. I mean, Kareem Hunt today, 31 rushing yards. Isaiah Pacheco, 22. Patrick Mahomes is the leading rusher at 66. And so he's not getting much help from his offensive line at all. That's not great. And that's going to throw the whole offense out of rhythm. Now, the Eagles, where the Eagles go here, they're 2-0. Here's the reason to be optimistic as an Eagles fan. They're 2-0. You would expect a Super Bowl hangover. Like I said, they've been kind of sluggish. If they started 1-1, all right, beat the Cowboys, lose the Chiefs, I'm not panicking. 2-0 is a great spot for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And I feel like they haven't played their best football yet. That's what's scary. They're 2-0. They're the best teams in the NFL. They haven't tapped into the best version of themselves yet. That's terrifying for the rest of not only the NFC, but the rest of the NFL. Because I have a feeling that as this team starts to find itself more and more, and they start to figure out that cornerback situation, and they start to figure out the defensive line depth, they're going to be scary. And once A.J. Brown hasn't even really started cooking yet. He had a slow week against the Cowboys last week. He had 27 receiving yards today. He's going to pick it up even more. So a lot of things to be optimistic about if you're an Eagles fan. Was it the most riveting game? It was a defensive slugfest, kind of. The Chiefs dug themselves back into it later on, but they were not able to close the deal. The tush-push sealed it for the Eagles, and they beat the Chiefs once again. That's all I got to say about this game. It'll be interesting to see where these two go from here. Before I end this thing here, I want to touch a little bit on that Broncos-Colts game, because that one was riveting. And I'm also here to make the admission that I was wrong about the Indianapolis Colts. I predicted them to go 5-12 this year. I did not have a lot of optimism at all. I don't love their depth. I didn't like the fact that Daniel Jones beat Anthony Richardson, who was the plan for the future for the Colts, out in the quarterback battle this August, this training camp. But Daniel Jones has turned it up. His protection has been a lot better than I expected it to be. He went 23 for 34, 316 passing yards today. Jonathan Taylor had 165 on the ground. So the Colts put on an absolute clinic. Looking at their stats here, they outperformed the Colts in everything. 473 total yards. The Broncos 324. 306 passing yards to the Broncos 206. They outrushed them. They had more first downs. Really, really good day in the office for the Indianapolis Colts. And they beat a team in the Broncos that I have a lot of optimism in this year. The Broncos, crucial missed field goal in the fourth quarter. That always sucks. That gave the Colts momentum at home. The Broncos had to thug it out last week against the Titans, and today they're kind of up and down. But it was the Colts that got the upper hands. I mean, that final drive, the Colts missed their game-winning field goal initially, and then there's that penalty, and so Schrader sent it through the uprights his second time around, and the Colts won this thing. They look a lot better than I expected them to. Now, maybe is it a New Orleans Saints thing like last year where we were all like, whoa, this team is something special. Like, we didn't see this coming. And then they fall apart. Like, does the league catch up to Daniel Jones and the Royal Blue and White? There is a possibility of that. But right now, I will own it. I will accept it. I am dead wrong about the Indianapolis Colts. They're really impressed me so far. Not freaking out about the Broncos. I think they just ran to a buzzsaw today. That happens every once in a while. Like I thought the Broncos still played a really good game. And J.K. Dobbins had a really good game. Bo Nix, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And so not a terrible day from him, but just the slope off of production happened at the wrong time. They just lost momentum at the wrong time. Troy Franklin had a really impressive day today too, 89 yards. Will Lutz cost them late in the game. But Denver's got a great sense of direction right now. Love what Sean Payton's doing with them. And I think that they'll right the course. They'll get back on track. Not worried about the Broncos at all. But huge win for the Indianapolis Colts. I can't wait to see where they go from here. Looking at their schedule right now. Next week they go to Tennessee, a team that I had high hopes about. They're 0-2 already. They're already 2 games behind the Colts, which is the complete opposite of what I predicted. And so I kind of look like an ass clown. So thank you, Colts. But there's a lot of momentum in those walls right now. I think they're kind of surprising themselves. So the question is, will they be a 2021 Bengals or will they be a 2024 Saints? It'll be interesting to see where the Colts go. Then, of course, they have a test on September 28th on the road in LA against the Rams. Whose house? Rams' house. That'll be interesting to see how they compete there. But congrats to Colts Nation. Congrats to the guy Seth who sings the Colts anthem. Cam Bynum created a pretty cool celebration today, so congrats to him for that. In the end zone with the Colts mascot. So 29-28, Colts beat the Broncos in an absolute thriller. One more game I want to talk about. That's that Cardinals-Panthers game. That was something. I mean, I was watching that and look at the Panthers, and I'm just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, this is like a repeat of last week. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, no pulse, no rhythm at all offensively. And then the second half, the Cardinals just start putting the wind back in their sails. They did what I like to call spoon feeding, force feeding momentum to the Panthers. They clawed their way back into this thing. They had a 13-point fourth quarter. They never gave up. And so shout out to Dave Canales for keeping those Panthers focused. Bryce Young had a lot better of a second half. He had over 328 passing yards today, 3 touchdowns, but he threw the ball a hell of a lot. 55 times. You can't have your quarterback throw 55 times and lose the game. I'm sorry. That's inexcusable. There's still, Bryce Young is everything that I saw in college. Great playmaking ability. Great at improv. Very intelligent quarterback. He's got a high football IQ. But I think sometimes he really struggles with seeing over the line. I think that his height is a disadvantage after a while. I'm just going to be honest. And sometimes he holds onto the ball too much and tries to make a play too much. The Cardinals, they try to throw this thing away, but the Panthers just wouldn't let them. Trey McBride's one of the highest paid tight ends in the NFL right now. 78 receiving yards. He was the leading receiver for the Cardinals today. And so caps off to him. Ted McMillan looking good so far as well, 100 receiving yards. But in a game that came down to it in the last moment, I mean, the Panthers are driving down the field to win this thing 29-27, but they could not convert, and the Cardinals ultimately won this game. So huge win for Arizona, a team that I'm really working to diagnose right now, but they're 2-0. That's a great start. They're tied atop the NFC North in this young season so far. So congratulations to all the folks in Arizona. That's all I've got for you. We've got Sunday night football coming up here. Just wanted to break down that Eagles-Chiefs game for a few minutes because I just thought it was so peculiar that the Chiefs are 0-2 right now. They've had a great run for a while, and maybe it continues. Maybe they right the course and get back to the AFC Championship, get back to the Super Bowl. But right now, I look at Buffalo, I look at Baltimore. I just think they're faster. I think they're more talented. I think they're more complete. I think they're more dialed in. At this point, I just think they're hungrier. Those teams have a burning desire to get to the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs, they seem to be there every year. I mean, the last time they weren't was when the Bengals were there. And, well, I was a junior at Alabama at that time, back in 2022. So it's been a long stretch of dominance. Sustaining that is very challenging. And if the Chiefs continue to, I'll be thoroughly impressed. And I'm not going to put it past them to do so. But all I'm saying is the road to getting there is going to be a lot more challenging. Let me know what y'all think about this video and of those 3 games. Wild 3:25 Central Time slot today. I was very entertained. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.